Hello and welcome back to another round, another season of the Virtual Drift Championship, now powered by Next Level Racing, sponsored by TireStacks.com and Grip Royal. With me, as always, is Tanner, and we're excited here for another round of tandems.
Yeah, it was an insane qualifying. We had some crazy rookies just come out of nowhere and drop, 90 bombs left, right, and center. And now we're here for the top 32 and getting ready for our first battle involving Hines and Yuna Warninen.
Yeah, absolutely. And these drivers fought it out last season a couple of times as well. I remember a couple of their battles at Wall, New Jersey. If I remember right, they went one more time. Yuna was in that giant BMW of his, but this time in an E46, and that thing looks dialed in.
Yeah, Yuna's definitely no one to shake a stick at when it comes to battling each other. So these two have seen each other in battle multiple times, and we'll see how they get on today. As in your lead position there in the Pro Drift Academy S15 is the previous winner of the Virtual Drift Championship, Hines. And in that chase lane is Yuna Warninen. The lights go on, and off they go for their first battle of the evening of the top 32. They initiate in, Hines out front. Yuna kind of washing out a little bit behind him, trying to stick with the speed of Alan, bumping into the door as they go into outer zone 2. Now for the transition to the inner clip through outside zone 3 into the inside zone. Yuna kind of washing out again in that chase position. They now transition to the final outer zone, but Yuna not giving up any breathing room as they come past that finish line.
Yeah, what a start to the top 32 here as we go to the replay. Alan out front, but Yuna putting up a good fight in the chase position. Here they go, entering in along that yellow line there. Just super precise from Alan. Makes a little correction there as he picks up throttle in outside zone 2. Receives a little bit of a tap from Yuna, but they keep it going. Yuna diving up into the door and on the bumper there as they make that transition. And then reeling him back in before they cross that finish line.
As we just wait for the drivers to get back around and switch positions. Yuna Warninen will now lead, and Hines will chase. And off they go for the second half of this battle. Yuna in a new chassis for this year, so we'll see if he can lay it down. Hines already on the door out of the gate, leaving a little bit of room for transition into outer zone 2 for the wall ride, but right back up on the door goes Alan. Bumper to bumper transition as they come through clip 3 into that inner clip. Now pushing to the final 2 clips of the course. They are coming down. Alan is giving them absolutely no breathing room as they come across that finish line.
Yeah, really applying the pressure this time in the chase position is Alan Hines. So we go back to the replay. Clean start out of the gate. Yuna out front. Entering in and on a fantastic line, just following that yellow line. Very smooth into clip 2. But there you see Alan reeling him back in right onto the door. Across the bumper, dives back in again for inside clip. Staying there with him on the last and final transition. And then both staying out pretty wide, but Yuna driving off of it just a little bit there. So we'll go to these judges, and they'll slide them left for Alan Hines or right for Yuna. And there it is, unanimous decision. All the judges go left for Alan Hines, and he'll get the win here in the top 32.
Hines already fighting and hungry for another championship here in the Virtual Drift Championship as we move to our next battle here. Swede up against Kevin Stump. Kevin in that chase position in that beautiful brand new 400Z, and Abdul in the S15 in the lead lane. Abdul put on an amazing performance during qualifying, so we'll see if he can keep that up under the heat of battle here in the top 32. Off they go. Little bit of stalling from Kevin off the line. Abdul already initiating in and clearing the first outer zone beautifully. Kevin trying to catch back up and regain that proximity that was lost from the little stall of the line that he had. Now as they come to that inside clip, Kevin is on the door and ready to go with Abdul, but the lead line that Abdul's putting down is almost mimicking his qualifying run. But right there on the door was Kevin as they came across the line.
Yeah, Kevin did a good job to catch back up, but Abdul with the start out of the gate there, getting a good run and creating a gap here in this first turn. Again, Kevin doing an okay job there to make up for it, falls back just a little bit more, and then reels him in slowly through outside zone 2. Oh, Abdul on a fantastic lead run here, filling that next outside zone. And there, Kevin jumping onto the door and finishing out his chase run strong.
Again, just looking at how close qualifying was, we can just see, I think, every battle is going to come down to the small mistakes today as they're back at the line, switched around. Kevin Stump in that lead position, and Abdul ready to give chase. The lights turn on and off they go. Kevin with a better getaway this time as he initiates in, but right already on him is Abdul as he leaves some room for the transition into this wall ride of outer zone 2, and Kevin goes into the wall, straightening up and shutting down his run.
Yeah, an unfortunate one to see there, just getting a little bit too deep into that wall. We'll take a moment to go back to that replay again. Kevin out front in that new 400Z, looking fantastic. And throwing that car in along the outside line. But yeah, when he picks up throttle, it just doesn't look like he gets to the angle that he wanted. Car kind of drove straight a little bit and, you know, too deep into the wall, straightening him out, finishing out the run.
Yeah, very sad. Kevin's a very good competitor, but there's many more rounds to come. Abdul already showing he is a strong force, but he'll go on to see Hines in the top 16.
Yeah, as we wait for them to slide left or right, I imagine it. Yep, there they go. Unanimous decision. Abdul Al-Shetwi gets the win and moves on into the top 16 of round 1.
And up against Hines. Now our next battle here, the King of Belarus himself, Roman Catastrinka, up against Robert in that 370Z, and Roman in the Ferrari. And off they go. Good start by both drivers. Down the straight, initiating in is Raman, but right on him is Robert already as he leaves no room for the transition when they come into outer zone 2, getting right up on the door of Raman. Raman's going to transition. Look at the aggression from Robert in that chase position, just almost pushing Roman all the way across this course. Look at that, all the way to the finish line.
Oh, man. Again, applying the pressure. We'll go back to this replay. And Roman out front, entering that big Ferrari in on a decent line there. But Robert right along the bumper as they make that first transition. Drops back just a little bit, but does a fantastic job to reel him back in. Is there again for the transition. Does fall offline just a little bit. Has to sacrifice a little bit of angle. Gives Roman a little bit of a nudge there as well. And there they go across the finish line to finish out their first run of their top 32 battle.
What an amazing battle. Robert's really showing out here, showing, hey, you know, even with the King of Belarus beside me, I can still hang and I can still potentially go on to the top 16. Switched around, Robert in the lead, Roman giving chase in that Ferrari, and a great start by Robert as they initiate in, but right on his door already is Roman, leaving absolutely no room for the transition, getting right up on the door through outer zone 2. This is an insane battle it is turning out to be as they transition for that inner clip. Little bit of room gained as they transition one final time to the final outer zone, and a little more gap between him and Robert between the chases, but overall an insane showing by both drivers.
Yeah, Ramon said he's not finished yet. As we go back to this replay with Robert out front, getting a good start there on the run-up, throwing that car in along that outside line. Great transition into the wall, picks up throttle early, but look at that, Ramon right there in the pocket of that 370Z in front of him. Drops back just a little bit, but makes a good line there to make an attack on the door. Last and final transition, Ramon drops back again just a little bit, but does a good job to reel him back in. So we'll go to those judges. Left for Ramon or right for Robert. Really, I'm not sure who's going to get it here.
Yeah, it was a very close battle between both of them. I would not be surprised if this went to a one more time.
Oh, and there they go, unanimous for Ramon in the Ferrari. He is going to move ahead into the top 16 over rookie driver Robert Tazziemski.
Well, you know, good showing from Robert. He obviously just showed right there that he is going to be a strong competitor throughout the rest of the rounds that we have planned out for this season. So he'll be one to keep an eye on come round 2. Now with our next pairing coming up to the line, Zach O'Sullivan in the JZ A70 Supra, or A80 Supra, my bad. Oh, I'm thinking your car there. And Lazam in the chase position in the JZ A90. Old school versus new school.
Like, having an issue with the graphic there. We'll bring that back.
There we go. Oh, well. Looks like we're going to have our first restart of the season.
Quickly. Oh no, driving through the grass. I'm not sure if that is a good strategy there, as he might have a little dirt on the tires. Yeah.
See how it affects him going into the first outer zone, as now we have a good start. No stalling off the line. Zach can get the power down. Initiating in a little wide as Zach off the line just a bit, but lots of speed coming into outer zone 2. Right there, Lazam is getting up on his doors. We see him pushing Zach right around the course through the inner clip, doing a great job. Falling back a little bit now as Lazam as they come into that final outer zone, but starting to push back onto Zach through the finish line as they cross it.
Yeah, even giving him a little extra nudge there. Unfortunately, yeah, not sure what's going on with the graphic, but we're sending them anyways. Zach O'Sullivan, our Rookie of the Year driver, out front and throwing that super in, but goes too wide there, dropping at least one tire, but picks it up nicely into outside zone 2. But look at that, Lazam giving him a little nudge on the door, jumping right back into the pocket there. Does wash maybe a little bit, but makes a good attack for the last and final outside zone as they cross that finish line.
Yeah, we're only in the top 32, and these battles are like top 8 quality, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. They are going after it.
Yeah, they sure are. As we got Lazam out front now, and Zach ready to give chase. Whoa, and a big snap of oversteer off the line, almost cutting off Zach, and Zach's actually going to shut that down, and they're going to call a second restart. Oh, or Lazam's gonna drive around. Oh, I think he's got the message now to go back to the start line. Maybe not.
Yeah, waiting to, I believe Lazam is driving around now. Because, yeah, drivers do, I believe, have their AI line on, so if they turn around and drive backwards up the track, it will reset them.
And you
So
can't
that's
use
why
your reset to pits because that'll use up your 5-minute timeout.
Yeah, absolutely. It sure would.
But a little bit of an interesting strategy here. While Lazam gets to drive around and keep those heat in his tires, Zach has been sitting here at the line the whole time.
Yeah, he
losing the
actually
heat in
could have
his
taken the
tires.
shortcut too, right off the, if he would have taken a
Yes.
right.
And there's Zach trying to get some heat into those rears before we try to start the final half of this top 32 battle. Lazam out front. Zach giving chase. A90 versus A80. They initiate in. Good initiation there by Lazam. Zach right with them as they transition into outer zone 2. Zach trying to clip on the door of Lazam as they transition into that inner clip. And right on him now is Zach, right onto the back bumper of Lazam. They transition into the final outer zone. Sticking right with them the whole way through was Zach.
Yeah, he sure was. As we go back to this replay, Lazam out front in that goal. Supra entering in and on a good line through outside zone 1. Zach right there with him, falling back to let him make that transition. Reels him back in slowly through outside zone 2. Waits up to, again, give room for the transition, then dives onto the door of Lazam, going just a little wide around that inside clip. And there they go into last and final outside zone. Lazam going a little bit wide there at the end. So we'll go to the judges. Oh no, we've got some blank cars on there now. Yeah, something's going up. We'll have to get it from the judges to see who gets the win. Some round 1 hiccups, guys. Sorry. Oh, and look at there. We're going to get it one more time. So maybe we can get them fixed by the time they finish there one more time.
To our first one more time battle, and we're only 3 battles in to the top 32. And that just shows, again, the skill, commitment, and level coming from these drivers this season. I mean, every season for the past 6 seasons, every year it just gets higher in quality, and the drivers are getting harder and harder in just their qualifying scores and how they battle. But now we're going to start the one more time battle. Zach out front, Lazam giving chase. Zach initiates in, not going over the line like he did on his first run, and getting a great transition to outer zone 2, getting a bonk there from Lazam in the chase position, but not upsetting Zach too much. He's staying on his line, but Lazam sticking right with him, leaving some room for the transition. Now into the final outer zone, and right along his rear quarter as they come across that line.
Yeah, absolutely. And here we go back to the replay of their one more time battle here with Zach out front, getting a good start there. Entering in this time, not dropping tire along that outside line. Smooth transition in. Gets a little tap from Lazam. Does a good job to keep it off the wall. Make that transition on time and on line, as well as he fills that next outside zone. And smooth into the last and final outside zone as well, and across that finish line.
And here we go, back at the line, the second half of the one more time battle. Lazam out front, Zach giving chase. Lazam sleeping a little bit on the line, Zach trying not to pass him down that straightaway as they initiate in. Zach already right with them, coming into outer zone 2, trying not to make contact but stay close at the same time as they transition through 3 and into that first inside clip. Zach is right there mimicking everything Lazam does, transitioning into that final outer zone now. And look at that, Zach right there on the door as they cross the finish line.
Yeah, another close battle here as we go to the replay with Lazam out front in his gold Supra. Entering in and looking good on that outside line. Almost maybe a little nudge there before the transition as well into outside zone 2 from Zach, leaving a bit of room and then jumping back on the door of Lazam out front, right on the bumper as well. And there they go, right along that yellow line is Lazam. So we'll go to those judges. This with their cars not working on the graphics, so we'll wait for those judges over Discord and relay who gets the win here. I wouldn't be surprised for another one more time.
I mean, I think it's going to come down to that contact on Lazam's chase run. We'll see what they decide on.
And guess what?
No.
It's one more time again. They're gonna line them back up.
Guess the contact wasn't big enough for them to decide. So a second one more time between Zach O'Sullivan and Lazam. Now for those just joining us, they're going, wow, you're on the final battle. No, we are not. We are not. We're only on the top 32 and only 4 battles in.
Yeah, absolutely. Both had their little hiccups in their leads and chases, as I hear the judges over Discord explaining it to the drivers. And just wasn't enough to get a clear winner, so they want to line them back up once again and let them go at it.
Yeah, and so for a second, one more time, a sudden death matchup. Zach O'Sullivan out front, Lazam giving chase. Zach going to initiate in his Toyota Supra while getting chased down by the Toyota Supra of Lazam. They come into the second outer zone. Zach leading it a little bit, but pushing back out. Lazam staying on a nice clean arc the whole way through. They transition into that inner clip. Lazam is sticking right on the door of Zach as they transition into that final clip, leaving no room for error as they cross that line for the first half of their second one more time.
I know, just over and over again as we go back to the replay with Zach out front this time. And throwing that super in. Holding that outside line. Great transition across. Picks up throttle on time and pulls away this time from Lazam in that chase position. But look at there, right on the bumper once again for the transition. Almost washing a bit, but makes a good attack for the last and final outside zone as they come across that finish line. For the 5th time.
Yeah. It's almost too many to count. Zach's starting a little farther back. The lights are on. Lazam out front in the A90. In the A80. Getting chased down by Zach O'Sullivan. In the second one more time battle, great initiation by both drivers. Zach that little bit closer now to push up on the door of Lazam. Zach, you got to get there as we see Lazam transition now into outer zone, into the inside clip and out to outer zone 3. Now into that final outer zone. And Zach right there on him as they cross that line.
Yeah, another tough one for the judges to call here as we go to the replay. Lazam out front, flying down that run up and entering in, staying along that outside line, filling that first zone, gets into outside zone 2 pretty smooth there. And Zach making the dive into the pocket of Lazam out front, filling that next outside zone. And there they go across that finish line. Again, we'll wait on those judges to make their decision for their second one more time battle here in the top 32. Looks like we're going to have a decision here.
One already came through and I can read it to you.
Yeah, it looks like Zach's going to get the win.
Yes, Zach O'Sullivan does get the win and moves on to the top 16 to go up against Roman Catastrinka, the king of Belarus.
Look at there, we got the graphic good.
The graphic works now, yay.
It does, it does.
That's
Sorry
why we got
about
the second
that,
one more time.
both of you drivers and fans of the drivers. We've got them fixed, and we'll see Zach in the top 16.
Now we just got the next set of drivers just loading into the track here as we wait for our next pairing, which is going to be Yasser Saad and Luciano Canero.
And look at there, NA is back this time as Yasser Saad out front. And of course, it all worked, you know, in the testings.
That's how it always goes. It always works in testing, and then when we're live, it just wants to bring back hashtag NA. Now going to be trending on Twitter. I promise you that.
There he is, Yasser Saad. We got your name up there, and we're ready to send him.
Yes, Yasser Saad in that S14 in the lead position, getting chased down by Luciano in that BMW, initiating in. Good initiation, dropping a tire from the chase, though, trying to stick with them. Beautiful into outer zone 2 from that lead, and now Luciano just starting to reel in that door as he leaves some room for the transition to that inner clip, getting back onto it as Yasser here is just putting on an amazing lead run for Luciano to stick on that door as they cross the line.
Yeah, he did a good job in that chase position, but man, that lead again from Yasser, doing fantastic in qualifying and doing the same as well in this lead run, just right on the edge of that yellow line. Really smooth into outside zone 2, but look at there, Luciano right on the door, drops back, and then reels him right back in. Does sacrifice a little bit of angle there through outside zone 5, as well as coming in 2-6. But there they go across that line, and again, Yasser just with a fantastic lead run out front.
Yeah, Yasser was killing it in qualifying, really threw down some solid runs. But Luciano, he's not new to this, and he's a pretty good battler, so we've seen him go pretty far in quite a few different rounds here at the VDC, so now we'll see them go at it again. Luciano Canero up front, giving again now for his first time in the Virtual Drift Championship in a chase position, is Yasser behind him. Decent initiation there from Luciano, but Yasser sticking right with him, almost pushing up to him by the end of outer zone 2 as he leaves absolutely no room for the transition, and they go through that innermost clip, going out to the next outer zone and transitioning to the final one. And look at the proximity that Yasser had onto Luciano.
Yeah, he stuck with him through that entire run there with Luciano out front. As we go back to this replay here, throwing that car in, and overall pretty good line from Luciano through this first section of the course. But Yasser just applying the pressure right on the bumper there, making the transition just a little late behind you, but then dives right back up onto the door on the bumper for that last transition, and then reels him back in before they cross that finish line.
Yeah, what an amazing driver Yasser is. He's very good, showed it off in qualifying.
Yeah, he certainly did, and he's going to get the win here. Unanimous decision. Yasser Saad will move on into the top 16.
That brings us to our next 32 battle. Who's going to go see Yasser in the top 32, in the top 16? Will it be Catastrinka in that lead position, or will it be Yaroslav in the chase? Yaroslav in the BMW, the S15 of Yaroslav right behind him, really shallow into outer zone 1 from Yaroslav, and then trying to get back up onto him is Yaroslav, hitting him really hard, almost making him having to fall out of drift and reinitiate as we see them come back around to that second to last outer zone and into the final outer zone. Not as deep as Yaroslav could be, but maybe that hiccup just threw him right offline and just maybe messed up the run.
Yeah, as we go back to the replay, you see Yarko gets a slow start out of the gate. He left on time, didn't really seem too late, but maybe in the wrong gear or something. Looks to make a huge dive on the inside of that outside zone 2 and ends up hitting Erika's Jerkus in the front of that car, straightening him up, but they keep it going and end up finishing out the first half of their battle. But huge advantage towards Erika's Jerkus.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting how the judges call that one, especially with that decel zone there. It'll be maybe too much of a dive from Yaroslav. We'll see. But Yaro now in the lead lane there in that beautiful S15, and giving chase is Erikas. And looks like we're going to have another restart here.
Some reverse skills there.
I gotta watch out for those cones. Those cones we made out of solid Ethereum.
With rebar, 6 feet of rebar.
Yeah, oh yeah. The world's strongest metal. Not even, Superman himself or anybody really could break them. But here we go. Yaro for the out front with Erikas behind. This is the second half of their top 32 battle. Yaro putting down a pretty good lead line so far. Erikas sticking right with him though. Really close on that transition as they come through that innermost clip and out to the outer zone. Erikas leaving a little bit of room. Could be just a tad closer. And there it is. There's the, really big flashy headlights from Yaroslav. Those are dancing.
Yeah, they certainly were. As we go back to this replay with Yarko out front, throwing this S15 in and looking great through the first outside zone. And I thought he was going to over-rotate there into outside zone 2, but he picks up throttle, holds the angle with very minimal correction, almost a little late on that transition at 3. And there you see applying the left foot brake to fill outside zone 5, but Erikas right there with him as they cross that finish line. And we'll go to those judges. Left for Erikas Jerkus or right for Yarko Tresh. And there they go, left for Erikas Jerkus. He'll get the win, move on into that top 16 where he'll face Yasir Saad.
Well, there we go. Erikas Jerkus. As I've been corrected in chat, it is a Y, not a J, for the pronunciation of Jerkus. It is Jerkus. There we go. Learning something new every day in round 1. As we have our next battle, Austin and Oliver. Austin out front in that Chase A90, getting chased down by Oliver in his A80. Another A80, A90 battle. As we see Austin out front really laying it down. But there's the push from Oliver to get right up on the door. As we see them make that transition into the inner clip. Look at the proximity and the aggression from Oliver as they transition yet again for the final time around the final outer zone. And right on the door the whole time was Oliver.
He certainly was. As we go back to this replay once again, Austin out front, rookie driver leading Oliver Effinger, now a VDC veteran in his returning Supra, leaves a lot of room on the table here in the first section, but then reels him in really quick there in outside zone 2. Makes a nice transition along that bumper, staying with Austin out front, who's on a great lead line here, smooth through the transition, and then jumps right back onto the door and almost pushing him across that finish line.
What an insane battle. These guys are just putting out top quality battle. I can't wait to see how the finals are going to go. If this is the quality we're getting just in the top 32 alone. Now, back at the line, flipped around in the Valino Toyota Supra is Oliver Effinger. In the A90 beside him is Austin. Down the straight they come, initiating in. Oliver out front with a sizable gap, but right away, Austin is trying to close that door, but they both go into the wall. That'll shut down that run entirely.
Man, that's unfortunate after that first half of the battle.
Almost looked like Oliver went into the wall first, and Austin was just kind of following his line and went in as well.
For sure, we'll go back to this replay, this time with Oliver out front and this contact along the wall here. Both entering in on a nice line. Oliver leaving a little bit of room on the table and then picks up throttle and picks up the wall. It looks like he does pick it up first before getting hit from Austin in that chase position, who was really just following that same line that Oliver was on. So we'll wait on those judges. We imagine they'll slide left for Austin Zalewski. And there they go, unanimous for Austin Zalewski, as Oliver went into that wall in that chase position.
Yeah, sad way to see Oliver get out, but hey, you know what? We'll see him in round 2. Austin will move on to that top 16. Who's going to go and see Austin? Will it be our lead lane driver, Brandon Gardner, or Jonathan Simpson beside him in that 240SX? The lights go solid and off they go. Brandon Gardner out front. And look at Jonathan already sticking right with them as they transition in. Good lead line there given by Brandon. Jonathan just having problems trying to settle that car, as we see a good wall ride there from Brandon as they transition into that inner clip. Jonathan just not able to kind of get on the door of Brandon here as we come through that final outer zone and they cross the line.
Yeah, when I was in practice with Brandon's car here, again, that thing was flying through the course. And I think it did the same thing here as we go back to the replay with Brandon out front, entering that big car in, but picking up throttle on time, filling that zone. Great transition there. You see Jonathan over-rotate just a little bit, has to make a correction there. And Brandon on a great lead line, doing what he needs to do out front. And Jonathan struggling back there to keep up, over-rotates once again, taps his rear bumper along the side of Brandon's car. And there they go across that finish line, and we'll switch them up.
We sure will. Now Brandon's going to put on a chase run while Jonathan Simpson tries to put on the best lead run that he possibly can, as close to a 100-point qualifying run as he can. We decide who's going to go see Austin in the top 16. And here we go. Jonathan initiating in, but Brandon right there with him as they transition into outer zone 2. Ooh, Jonathan having to shallow up a little bit halfway through that outer zone as they make the transition and go into the inner clip. But look at Brandon right there with him as they transition one more time into this final outer zone, and Brandon sticking it to the back bumper of Jonathan's car.
Yeah, I kept up with him really nice there as we go back to this replay. Jonathan out front, Brandon giving chase as he sticks with him through the run up right there on the bumper as they enter in. Dropping back just a little bit to give room for Jonathan to transition. It looks like Jonathan gives the wall a tap maybe. Either that or car just straightens out when he picks up throttle. Nonetheless, it is a small correction. He does go wide for inside clip, opening the door up for Brandon in that chase position. And there they go, finishing out the second half of their battle. We'll go to those judges. Left for Brandon or right for Jonathan Simpson. There's Brandon's correct flag. I didn't think he was from the Ukraine. And there they go, unanimous decision for Brandon Gardner. He'll move on into the top 16. Yeah, and that's quickly another group of drivers down. We're moving on along through the top 32.
Yeah, the next battle is going to be a fun one, and more congratulations there to Brandon for getting that win, going to face off against Austin in the top 16. Now we have Mustafa Ahmaneh up against Victor Lachaise. So this should be quite an entertaining battle as Mustafa really laid it down in qualifying.
Yeah, absolutely. Mustafa, in both the runs too. I mean, just chucked the car in for turn one and held a good line all the way through. Super impactful runs. And he ended up qualifying second, first event here in the Virtual Drift Championship.
And we hope you all who are joining us for this wonderful top 32, as we're just about halfway through it now. We're a little over. Hope you're all enjoying the stream and all the hard work that Mr. Craig puts into all this.
Oh, thanks, Tanner.
Yeah, I know. You do such a good job. Look at this. Did you guys see? If you go into the settings, you can set it to 1440p. This monster. You can watch it in 1440p and it looks amazing.
A little bit of trying to trick the upload and the codec for a little bit better quality, even in 1080. Thanks to Mustafa for that tip, by the way.
And he's got a lot of fans in the chat. I remember seeing them earlier. Same with you, sir. He had quite a few as well. It's good to see you guys here. Hope you're enjoying the show. I hope everybody's enjoying the show as we get one round in before the Christmas break. And then after the new year, come back swinging. There we are. Mustafa in the lead lane. And beside him is Victor in that 240SX. The S15 is Mustafa. The lights go solid and off they go. Mustafa out front and they're about to initiate in. Looking good on the initiation. Right with him though is Victor. Ooh, a big bobble from Victor in that chase position. Mustafa keeping it nice and clean out front. Oh, Victor not leaving enough room for that transition. Having a little bit of a bumper touch, but it's not upsetting the run as Victor is just doing everything to stick right on the door of Mustafa. Wow. What a push by Victor.
Yeah, absolutely. Putting up a fight in that chase position as we go back to that replay with Mustafa out front. Again, coming off that big qualifying score, qualifying second and looking good here in that lead position. Picks up throttle early. Victor with a small correction there, leaving the wall a little bit early as well and tapping the bumper of Mustafa out front. Diving back in. And there they go across that finish line, door to door.
What an amazing lead run too. That lead run was by Mustafa was just insane, but now we'll see how he does in chase, how Victor deals with the pressure. Victor was super aggressive in his chase, and now Mustafa knows he'll have to do the same. Victor's just got to focus on that lead run as the lights go solid, and off they go. Victor out front in the 240, getting chased down by Mustafa in the S15. Great initiation by Mustafa. And Victor falling a little short, but oh, getting a big bump there from Mustafa. Don't want to see too many more of those contacts. They come into that inner clip, a little bit of a bobble from Victor out front as they transition into this final outer zone now, staying on the throttle. But look at that proximity from Victor as they come around and finish out their run.
Yeah, Mustafa had, yeah, absolutely. Mustafa had me a little nervous there with those taps, especially along the wall as we go to the replay with Victor out front, throwing that car in once again. Could have been a little deeper there, but overall good line. Gets into the wall just a little bit, maybe straightens out, but there's that tap from Mustafa in the chase position, maybe pushing a little bit too hard, but he gets it under control, stays in that pocket right along the bumper as they make that last and final transition, and there they go, finishing out the second half of their battle here. We'll go to the judges. close one to call for them.
Yeah, it definitely is. That's what worries me about those contacts, is when, competition is this close, the smallest things could tide over the judges.
Ooh, and a split decision. Chris goes for Victor Lachaise, while Ed and Matt give it to Mustafa, and he'll get the win and move on into the top 16.
So congratulations to Mustafa for moving on up into the top 16 by a split decision, which doesn't happen often. And that just shows you, again, how close everything is. And we already got the Alves fans in the chat. Victor Alves up next in the lead lane, getting chased down by Logan Daniels. Victor in the S14 or S15, and then the wide body S15 of Logan Daniels beside him. Victor gets off to a good start, initiates in, good initiation, already pulling away a little bit there from Logan as they come into outer zone 2 and push up against that wall. Now Logan's starting to regain some of that proximity he lost out of outer zone 1 and starting to stick with Victor. Victor on a very good lead line here, though, with that chase position, just trying to keep up and keep that pressure on as they cross the line.
Yeah, the rookies are going nuts here in the top 32 as we go back to this replay. Oh, no, okay, there we go. Took it a second there as we see Victor throw it in, leaving a little bit of room on the table for outside zone 1, but gets into 2 very nicely. And there, Logan reeling him in quickly right along the bumper as they make that transition as well. And falling back just enough to allow that last and final transition, and then reels him back in before they cross that finish line for the first half of their battle.
There's so many amazing drivers today. It's like every battle is final battle quality. I'm so excited to get to the end now. I want to see what happens.
It might not never end.
It might not never end. We just might be stuck in a constant one more time loop. Who knows? As we have Logan Daniels out front, ready to put on his lead run and getting chased down by Victor Alves. They initiate in. Victor already right there with him as they transition into outer zone 2. Ooh, and a huge bobble there, but correcting his angle and sticking with it was Victor as they transition into that inner clip, washing really wide as Victor. But looking at that lead lane, whoa, and a huge shunt, putting Logan into the wall. Alves not sticking with him.
Yeah, big dive there from that chase position. We'll go to the replay and see if we can see exactly what happened here. Entering in nice along that outside line. Gets into outside zone 2 nicely, but Victor having to make an angle correction there. Reels him back in, almost catches the bumper, but then you see him wash out big time, and it looks like he's just trying to make up the gap there. I can't really see, Logan Daniels dropping a ton of speed there. We'll let it play again for those judges as well. Again, no decel zone coming into that last and final outside zone. Drivers just need to transition across. Stay on throttle there. Don't want to see any foot brake entering in or handbrake. I'm not sure. It is really close. We'll wait on those judges as we see them reset.
And if I remember right, Victor even won an event last year, didn't he? He won one of the rounds, or came very close.
Yeah, absolutely. He sure did. And then again, ended up winning that hard charge award. And look at
Yeah.
there, it is going to slide right for Logan Daniels. He's going to get the win and move on into the top 16 due to that contact and Victor trying to make up that ground.
Bad for Victor there, but I'm sure he will see him again in round 2. A good hard fight there from Victor is showing that he's becoming a little more aggressive, which is nice to see. So we move on to our next battle here. Lucas Tazziemski up against Vacaras Alukas. Lukas out front in the BMW, getting chased down by the yellow BMW of Vacaras. We see them going through the wall ride of Outer Zone 2, but sticking right on the door is the chase driver. Look at that, right on him as they come through that second to last outer zone and make one final transition, and giving him no breathing room is the chase driver of Vacaras.
Yeah, Vacaras real strategical in that chase position here as we go to the replay with Lukash out front in his BMW. Entering in, grabs that first outside zone very clean. But you see there, Vacaras right there with him and just gets closer and closer as the run goes by, right along the bumper as they make that transition along outside zone 3. Grab that inner clip, that next outside zone, and there, just reeling him back in before they cross that line is Vacaras. But overall, good lead from Lukash out front.
Yeah, Lukash put on a very good lead run, and I think that's what made Vacaras' job a little easier in that chase position. But we're going to flip them around now and see how they get down for the second half of their top 32 battle. Vacaras out front in the yellow BMW, getting chased down by Lukash in that white BMW. Good initiation, but Lukash already right on his door as they come through outer zone 2 on that wall ride. Way closer in proximity is Lukash on this chase run. Oh, but getting hit coming into that inner clip from the chase position. Now into the final outer zone, coming around, but right on the door is Lukash.
Yeah, I think this is going to be another tough one for the judges as we go back to this replay here with Vacaras out front in his BMW this time, entering in really nice along that outside zone there, smooth into outside zone 2 as well, just locked into that angle, no real change at all. Smooth transition as well, and drives right back down to the inside clip, gets a little tap from Lukash in that chase position, and there you see doesn't quite get to angle Lukash in that chase position. We'll go to those judges in this, once again, close battle. Left for Lukash or right for Vacaras. Again, this is just top 32 battles between these drivers.
Oh, that's a nice little comment. Somebody in the comments there say it was Vacaras was telling him that it was his goal to compete in the VDC, and now he's here.
Yeah, and putting on a show again. That chase run, I really like the strategy he had there. He gave just enough room that he needed to, and there it is, a slide right for Vacaras. He's gonna get the win over Lukash and move on into the top 16. Well deserved from Vacaras.
Yeah, definitely. Vacaras there, you know what? It was his goal to make it to the VDC, and now let's see how far he can take it as he's into the top 16. As we have almost our last battle of the top 32. We're down to the last 4 battles, so really winding it down here. As we're going to start this next one with Brandon Patrick in the Ferrari up against Darren Baker in that GTR. The lights start flashing and they go solid and off they go. Brandon out front, Darren giving chase. Initiating in is Brandon as they have a very good initiation. They transition into outer zone 2, but right on him already is Darren, not leaving any breathing room. Bumper to bumper transition as they come right door to door through the second to last outer zone. Transition one last time along that long final outer zone and crossing the line with a little bumper touch.
Yeah, good chase from Darren Baker here as we go to the replay. And Brandon entering that big Ferrari in and doing a good job with it as well as he picks up throttle in outside zone 2. But that big GTR not giving up any space as they make that transition right along the bumper there. Filling that next outside zone. Again, on the bumper for the transition is Darren Baker in that chase position. And there they go, finishing out their first half of their top 32 battle.
All right, let's see what we can do now that they're flipped around. Darren Baker out front in that GTR getting chased down now by Brandon Patrick in the Ferrari. Right on the bumper already is Brandon as they initiate in. And right away we can see how close that transition was, leaving a little bit of room on the entry for outer zone 2, but then really sucking up to the door of Brandon of Darren as we come through that inner clip now through the second outer zone into the last one. And we can see Brandon all over the door of Darren.
Oh, man. We'll go back to this replay here with Darren out front this time. Very good line for outside zone 1. Picks up throttle right on time. But look at that. Brandon right on the door, giving him a little nudge. And then on the bumper for the transition, gives up a little bit of space, but starts to reel him back in. And then again, right on the bumper for the last and final transition. And there they go, right next to each other across that finish line. And we'll go to these judges, left for Brandon or right for Darren. Or will we see him go one more time?
What?
No, we won't. Darren opening his doors there, inviting Brandon in. But unfortunately, Brandon is going to get the win. Unanimous decision. He'll move on into the top 16.
Sorry, you said Brandon's getting the win.
Excuse me, Darren. Darren is getting the win.
There we go.
The opening of the doors threw me off.
Yeah, I did not expect that. You know, these guys come up with ingenuity every day with the models they make. From thumbs out the window to doors opening. We come down to the last 4 battles of the top 32. Tikon, Poleski, and Oliver coming up next.
Yeah, Oliver with a big battle in front of him here with the previous champion Tikon Poleski. Coming to the line and then changed his mind. I think he was under the impression that he was able to take some laps. Yeah.
No, very good job there from Brandon. He did a very good job, but at the end of the day, the judges have decided on Darren getting that win. As now we have Tikon Poleski at the line in the lead lane, and sitting beside him is Oliver. Now this has got to be some pressure for Oliver as he has the previous season's winner of the Virtual Drift Championship, if I'm right on that. Correct me if I'm wrong. Tikon Poleski out front. Oliver giving chase. Tikon already on an amazing lead line. Oliver trying to close the door as he starts to do now into outer zone 2, transitioning from 3 right along the bumper of Tikon into that inner clip, now through the second to last outer zone and into the final outer zone, starting to build a gap as Tikon as they come across the line.
Yeah, beep boop, the robot himself out front, Poleski putting on a near perfect lead line here as we go back to the replay, throwing that car in, filling outside zone 1 very nicely, and then just sets into that wall. No correction at all, leaves it very nicely, makes that transition there. Oliver right on the bumper though, and applying the pressure here in that chase position, almost gets caught up there and does get left behind just a little bit before crossing that finish line.
And of course, Tikon doing what he always does and just throws down those amazing lead runs. And that's what makes him such a hard competitor, is he's always so consistent every lead run he does. We'll see how Oliver can counter that in his lead run. Especially with Tikon giving chase, we know how close Tikon can chase somebody. And there they go, off the line. Oliveira up front. Initiating in, Tikon already right with them as they transition into outer zone 2. I'm sure we're going to see that hard charge. There it is from Tikon, getting right on the door of Oliveira as they transition into that inner clip. And look at that proximity from Tikon as they make one final transition in that outer zone. Dropping a bit of tire was Oliveira as they come across the line door to door.
Oh man, I mean, Oliver with a fantastic lead out front, even though he did drop, I mean, we'll call it a half a tire off the back of that last and final outside zone, but fantastic. But Tikon just putting on the pressure as soon as they get into this outside zone 2, sticks with him, makes a fantastic transition along the bumper of Oliver out front. And again, for the last and final one, and there you see Oliver just drop again like half a tire off that back of that outside zone. And we'll go to these judges. Left for Tikon. Oh no, and we lost the cars. Maybe they've been reset again.
Nope. Oh, you mean on the...
Yeah, the judges, yeah. There they go. And there they go, left for Tikon Poleski. He'll get the win and move on into the top 16. But good fight from Oliver, rookie driver, coming in here and putting up a fight against Tikon Poleski.
Yeah, I mean, to stick it to Tikon, I mean, that's got to be a little pat on the back right there. Just being, yeah, I was right there with you. We'll see Oliver in round 2. We move on to our next battle, which will be, once I find his name here on our sheet. Is he not loaded in? I don't think he has.
Yeah, we're actually going to give him 5 minutes and move on to the next battle in front of them.
All right, so Masashi Yoshida taking his 5-minute timeout. Hopes to get fully loaded into the server. So we'll move on to the next battle. Artem Makashenko up against Dmitry Mitten. Artem,
yeah,
another...
I'm not sure where Dmitry was going, but I guess he'll come back to the line.
Maybe he thought there was a practice run. And Artem showing out big time in qualifying as well. So, and same with Dmitry. So this should be a really intense battle. 2 rookies going at it. All right, and here we go. Artem out front, but a restart being called.
Yeah, I believe Artem jumped a little bit early there. But again, new drivers getting used to our light there. May even change it, make it a little bit easier for the drivers for round 2.
There we go. The light's solid. That means go. Artem gets off to a good start, but right behind him is Dmitry as they initiate in. Look at that, Dimitri giving him no room coming into outer zone 2. Look at how close Dimitri is to Artem. Artem's got to make this transition here on the bumpers. Dimitri, as they come through that inner clip and out to the outer zone, transitioning one last time to the final outer zone, and Dimitri right on his door to the finish.
Oh, man. And these guys are teammates together as well. We'll go back to the replay with Artem out front, and both of them just putting on a show here. Good lead line from Artem out front. Could have been a little deeper in outside zone 1, but sets into the wall nicely. Opens up the door for Dimitri there in that chase position. Dimitri starts his transition just a little early, but comes up right into the pocket of Artem in that big Mustang out front. And there they go across the line, door to door. And we'll switch them up for the second half of their battle.
Yeah, Artem really laying it down in that 2JZ Mustang. And Dimitri just putting it right there on the door in that Supra of his. I mean, that was an amazing chase run. Here they are coming back around. Putting a little bit of extra heat into those tires. So now Dimitri out front. Artem going to be giving chase. The light goes solid and off they go. Dimitri getting to a good start, but Artem right on him from the gate as they initiate in. A little bit of a gap coming into outer zone 2. Artem trying to push up onto the door of Dimitri, which he's doing by the end of it, leaving a little bit of a room for the transition there, but getting back up onto the door of Dimitri as they go through the outer zone and make, whoa! And I believe that was a lag spike?
Yeah, I mean, 100% had to be. And as I look up in the top right corner, the ping has not changed on the server, and it's good to go. We'll watch this replay back. Again, Dimitri on a really good lead line here. He does make a bit of a mistake here as he comes through inside clip, just a little bit wide there, but gets back on the line, fills that zone, and then just
180.
I'm lost for words as to what happened. Super unfortunate when it comes down to those situations, as it states in our rulebook. It does blame, or not, we'll say fault gets put onto the driver who has the lag, and clearly that driver was Dimitri. We'll pull up the judges and see which way they go with it, but I think Artem is going to get the win there over his teammate for the lag. Again, super unfortunate, but, you know, similar to a mechanical failure, right?
Yep, exactly, and that's just it. I mean, I don't know how many times I've yelled at my own roommates to get off the internet because they're taking up too much bandwidth while we've been doing this stream.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I think they've actually already decided. There they go. Left for Artem Makashenko. He will get the win. Move on into the top 16 over his teammate Dimitri Mitten. But we hope to see Dimitri back next round.
Yeah, definitely. Dimitri was on fire for that, and it just sucks that a little leg spike caused him to lose the win. But Dimitri, don't stop pushing. Let's see you in round 2. Maybe go for that win. Now we got our next battle coming up here, and it looks like, I just saw on my screen there, that Shoma Takaya will be moving on to the top 16 as Masashi Yoshida did not connect to the server within the 5-minute time period given. So we move on to our final battle of the top 32. Darius Ostrika out front, getting chased down by Mark Pretty in the Supra. They transition into outer zone 2 with a good gap established by Darius, but that has all been taken back by Mark Pretty in that chase position as they transition into that final outer zone and come across the line on the door with a little bit of bumper touching.
Yeah, I think Darius is going to end up with a little bit of an advantage going into the second half of this battle. You see him get off to a really good start here. Good line through outside zone 1. smooth into outside zone 2 as well. And you see Mark trying to get onto the door of Darius and just struggling in that chase position. Does sort of start to reel him in here along that outside zone, and then gets caught up once again in that transition, having trouble getting that car to angle back there.
Yeah, it looked like a bit of a struggle there for Mark Pretty. But we'll see how he can do in the lead position with Darius giving chase. Again, I know I said it quickly, but Masashi Yoshida not able to connect to the server within his 5-minute timeout, and therefore giving the win to Shoma, who will go to face Poleski in the top 16. Now for the second half of the final top 32 battle. Mark Pretty out front. And giving chase now is Darius. And here we go. The final half, the final top 32 battle before we move into the top 16, initiating in, missing out on that first inner zone, or outer zone, sorry, transitioning into the second. Now Darius is starting to really push onto Mark as we see them come through that inner clip and out to the outer zone. Pushing real hard here is Mark Pretty, but sadly, the proximity from Darius, he was just all over him.
Yeah, he certainly was. As we go back to this replay with Mark out front and making a little bit of mistakes here and there in this lead, not getting into outside zone 1 really at all. Picks up throttle into outside zone 2 on time, but lacking angle, makes the transition late, which pushes him wide for inside clip. Doesn't quite get 5 as well, and Darius doing everything he needs to do in that chase position to get the win here today in the top 32. We'll wait for those judges to slide left or right. Darius on the left, Mark on the right. And there they go, unanimous decision. Darius Ostrich will get the win and move on into the top 16. And I believe now we're going to get the bye run from Shoma Takaya for our last and final driver of the top 32.
Here he comes. So the bye run of Shoma Takaya to round out our top 32. We get to see him put on just a little bit of a show for us. We get one good practice in before he moves on to the top 16 up against Tikon. Definitely hopes not to be hitting that wall. When he's
almost losing the bye runner.
Yeah, I wonder what the ruling is on that.
No, he's fine as long as he's there at the line, leaves the line when he needs to, and yeah, he'll move on into the top 16. But a close one there, Shoma. And that's gonna do it for top 32. We are gonna take just a short break, get a word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back with the top 16 of round 1. All right, and we are back for a top 16 of the first round of season 6. Again, my name is Tanner, and with me, or excuse me, my name is Craig. I've done it again. Oh no.
Hi everybody, I'm Craig.
How are you, Craig? Are you good?
I'm doing great, Tanner. How are you?
Well, I'm alive. You know, making it on along.
I'm telling you, we're doing the video this year. I promise it's gonna happen.
I'm a little sad that we didn't last year.
We definitely should have. But back to the topic at hand, the top 16 in round 1 of the Virtual Drift Championships, powered by Next Level Racing. We are here with Alan Hines in the lead position, and ready to chase him down is Abdul in that beautiful S15 2S chassis going at it. Yes, the Pro Drift Academy S15 of Alan Hines and the S15 of Abdul as they initiate in. Alan Hines on a decent mid-line there, but right away transitioning into outer zone 2. Abdul really having to cut the line there to try and keep up the proximity as they transition into that inner clip. Now Abdul's starting to put that pressure onto Alan as they bumper transition right against each other through that final outer zone, and woo, right across the line.
Yeah, as we go back to the replay, our number 1 qualifier, Alan Hines out front this time, leading Abdul through the course here, and Abdul entering just a little late there, gets caught up along the transition. When he picks up throttle, he jumps on to a very shallow line along outside zone 2, but does a good job to give room for the next transition and jump right back into the pocket and get back into the fight of this battle as they cross that finish line.
Here they come back around to the start line. Abdul now going to give his lead run, and Alan Hines is going to give chase. This is one car I would not want behind me, but Abdul is going to have to face it himself out front. Initiating in is Abdul, really doing a good job, but Alan Hines right there with him as they transition into outer zone 2. Alan Hines matching him on the angle and pushing up on that door as they transition into that inner clip. Look at the proximity from Alan Hines. They're really putting it onto Abdul, but Abdul is putting down an amazing lead run here with barely any faults as they cross the line. Wow, what a battle.
Yeah, really clean out front from Abdul, but Alan applying the pressure in that chase position might be enough to get the win here as we go back to this replay. And Abdul flying through the course, picks up that throttle, a little explosion out the back end along that wall. Nice transition as well, right on time to grab that inside clip. But again, Alan not giving up any room right along the bumper as they go into that last and final outside zone. And we'll go to these judges. They'll go left for Alan Hines or right for Abdul Al-Shedwi. And there they go, unanimous decision for Alan Hines. He's going to get the win and move on into that top 8.
Alan Hines already trying to make up ground here and get as many points as he can early on. As our next battle is at the line, ready to go, Catastrinka in the Ferrari up against Zach O'Sullivan in that Toyota Supra. Bike goes solid and off they go. Ramen off to a bit of a slower start. Zach ready to bring it to him. The King of Belarus out front. Good initiation in. Zach sticking right with them as they transition into outer zone 2. And Zach getting right onto the door of Ramen as they transition now through that outer zone and into the inner clip. Now pushing back out to the second to last outer zone and transitioning one more time. Zach right with him the whole way, giving him no breathing room as they cross the line.
Yeah, Zach really applying the pressure here in that chase position in his Supra against this big Ferrari that Ramon is driving today. throwing that car in along the outside zone. And smooth into outside zone 2 as well. But you see Zach reeling in, does get caught up on just a little bit of an inside line there, but jumps right back onto the door of Rahman out front in that Ferrari. Sticks with him through that last and final transition. And there they go with Zach applying that pressure.
Here they are back at the line. Zach O'Sullivan out front. And now Rahman ready to give chase for the second half of this second top 16 battle. Here they go, initiating in. Good initiation by Zach, but Rahman right with him as they transition into outer zone 2. Almost looking identical to Zach's chase run. Zach's on a really good lead run here as they transition through that inner clip and out to the outer zone. Now one last transition and one last outer zone to go. A big bobble there from Catastrinka in the chase just before the finish line.
Yeah, that might just do it for this battle here. Rahman was putting up a good fight until that last and final outside zone. And here we go with the replay. Zach out front entering in, gives up maybe just a little bit of room to that outside zone, but overall good line, very smooth into outside zone 2, sticks along that wall, makes that transition on time, grabs the inside clip. You see Rahman wash just a little bit, but sometimes it's needed to give room for that transition, and there you see halfway through he loses the angle and has to make a correction in that chase position. We'll wait and see from these judges here. Left for Rahman or right for Zach O'Sullivan. They're going to go right, unanimous decision for last year's Rookie of the Year driver, Zach O'Sullivan, and we'll see him in the top 8.
Congratulations to Zach there with that win over Rahman. We have our next battle at the line. Yasir Saad up against Jerkus. The light goes and Yasir's already off the line. Jerkus right behind him, ready to go. Good flick entry there from Yasir. Look at that, Jerkus right with him through that flick entry, but now a gap established and into the wall goes Yasir, shutting down the run. That had all the potential to be an amazing battle, as watching them both flick the cars in like that and Yasir going into the wall. Oh, wow. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, not at all. As we go back to this replay here with Yasir out front, entering in and just fantastic lead line so far, and then picks up throttle and it doesn't keep him off that wall. He slides into it, straightens it out and shuts that run down. Super unfortunate to see this early into the top 16 from Yasir, who was doing great today.
Yeah, Yasir was doing an amazing job, and to see him hit the wall like that, I mean, well, we don't know too much about him as a driver, as he is new this year, but, you know, could be first-time nerves. Who knows? Let's see if he can maybe pick it up and make up for it in his chase position, as now we have Jerkus in the lead lane and Yasir giving chase. Initiating in is Jerkus. Right behind him, though, is Yasir as they transition into outer zone 2. A huge gap from Jerkus, and there's the big push there from Yasir to get back that proximity before the end of outer zone 2, and now just sticking on the door, almost pushing Jerkus across the inside clip and the second to last outer zone. And oh, a big touch there from Yasir at the very end. And I think we know who this battle is going to go to.
Yeah, it did get really close there coming into outside zone 2. Jerkus took a really long time to really get settled into the throttle there. If it wasn't for the gap, he may even got hit. But it did allow Yasir to reeling back in after falling back quite a bit before coming into that outside zone 2. He sticks with him there, And as they come through this last and final outside zone, you see Yasir on a little bit less angle and gives Erikas a nudge out front. So we'll wait on these judges, left for Yasir or right for Erikas. But there they are. They are going to go right for Erikas. You get the win, and we'll see him in that top 8.
We sure will. Good on Erikas to make it through, and you, sir, keep on fighting, and we'll see you in round 2. As now our next battle of the top 16, Austin Zalewski up against Brandon Gardner. Austin in the JZA 90 and Brandon in that Infinity. Off the line they go. Good start. Austin out front. Brandon right there with him as they come through outside zone 1 and transition into outside zone 2. Huge push there from Brandon, having to back off it just a little bit to not go into Austin as they transition through the next 2 clips and through the inside zone. Look at the proximity there that Brandon is putting on Austin, but Austin doing a good lead run here as a big surge right at the end from Brandon.
Yeah, and here we go. Back to the first half of this battle in this replay. Austin out front and Brandon giving chase. And overall, I think pretty even going into the second half of the battle. Was a very nice lead run from Austin here. Picking up throttle when he needs to for outside zone 2. Transitioning across on time. Drives down and grabs that inside clip. And then gets to that outside zone 4 as well. You see Brandon reeling him back in for that last and final outside zone across the finish line.
What crazy battles we've had. I think I've experienced every emotion already today, and we're not even done the top 16.
Not even close.
Not even close. As we have them switched around, Brandon out front now. And Austin ready to give chase. The light goes solid, and off they go. Brandon a little bit sleepy at the line. Austin's right there with him as they initiate in through outer zone 1 and transition into outer zone 2. Look at that. Whoa! That was weird to see there, but they keep on the fight as they transition now into the inner clip and through the second to last outer zone. One more outer zone to go. Austin right there on him as they come across that line.
Yeah, good even battle, but I think it's going to come down to that situation at the wall, that second outside zone. And here we go with the replay. Brandon out front, entering that big car in, following that outside zone. And yeah, it looks like gives a little nudge. Yeah, it's going to be Brandon out front, nudging that wall, and then getting a tap from Austin in that chase position. And it might come down to that as to who's going to get the win here. As they cross that finish line, we will go to the judges here. And it looks like they've already decided Austin Zalewski will get the win and move on into that top 8 over Brandon Gardner.
As we said, with this level of competition, the smallest mistakes could mean the make or break to your battle. And, you know, it's sad. We don't want to see drivers losing over, you know, small wall taps, but rules are rules. We have to follow them. There's many more rounds to come. Many more rounds to come. Lots more fighting, lots more battles, and a lot more chances for these guys to make up their championship points and fight for that awesome title of Virtual Drift Championship winner. Virtual Drift champion.
We'll take a look at the bracket so far. Though we're missing updates for the top 16 there. See if we can get that refreshed.
Yeah, because mine's accurate. As we just wait for our next few drivers here to load on in, our next battle is going to be Mustafa Ahmaneh up against Logan Daniels.
There it is. Not quite correct, but there it is. Mustafa Ahmaneh up next.
go. Got Logan Daniels, and here comes Mustafa. Mustafa will be leading first. Logan Daniels will be chasing. There you go. And here we go. The light goes green and off we go. Mustafa out front with a good flick entry. Logan right behind him though, as we see them transition into the outer zone 2. Logan getting a full-on backy into that outer zone 2, but hanging onto it and regaining the proximity that he lost. Mustafa just putting on an awesome lead run here as they come down that final outer zone and across the line.
I think it's safe to say Mustafa, after a victory today here in round 1, as we go back to the replay, throwing that car in. Great initiation from Mustafa, and then picking up throttle right on time to stay off that wall while Logan over rotates, maybe goes into it just a little bit as well. As you see him wash out in that chase position, trying to make up ground. He does so there for that last and final outside zone. But that mistake in that chase position coming into outside zone 2 is going to be big.
It definitely is, as Logan will now be out front with Mustafa giving chase. And the lights ignite. And they go solid. Off they go. Logan Daniels out front, Mustafa giving chase. A better getaway there from Mustafa as they initiate in. Logan trying to get away from him as they transition into outer zone 2. And there's Mustafa starting to close the door way before the zone ends. Transitioning through the next outer zone and into the inner clip. Mustafa all over him, but Logan doing a very good lead run here, trying to put the car exactly where it needs to be, but Mustafa giving him no breathing room for error as they cross that line.
Yeah, again, Mustafa looking strong here in this top 16 battle. We'll go back to the replay with Logan out front this time. Good line through outside zone 1, leaving a little bit of room on the table, picks up throttle, drives off the wall just a little bit, but Mustafa makes a good correction to stick with him there, jumps back into the pocket in that chase position, as Logan's on a pretty good line here through this lead run, comes up just a little shy of outside zone 6, and they finish it out. And yeah, quickly with the judges, Mustafa is going to get the win and move on into the Great 8.
What a good job there from Mustafa, but a hard fight there from Darren as well. We'll see him in round 2 as we have Vacaras Alves in the chase position and Darren Baker in the lead in that GTR. Light goes solid, and off they go for their top 16 battle. Darren Baker out front. Vacaras chasing him down as they come through that first outer zone and transition into outer zone 2 for that wall ride. Little bit of a proximity there till the end where Vacaras starts to make up for it as they transition into that inner clip and through the next outer zone. Vacaras doing a good job now, just sticking right with Darren all the way through to the finish.
Yeah, Darren looking good out front in that GTR. Graphic is backwards. We do apologize. That's Darren Baker out front, and Vacaras giving chase as they throw both their cars into turn 1, and Darren on a perfect lead line, picking up that throttle right on time, following that white line along that wall, and then good timing for the transition to then pick up that inside clip. But look at there, Vacaras right there in the pocket along the bumper, and then right back into it for the last and final outside zone.
Yeah, it's going to be a close fight for this next half of the battle. We have them flipped around now. Vacaras out front, and Darren Baker ready to chase him down. The lights go solid, off they go. Down down the straight they come, initiating into outer zone 1. Right on his door already is Darren, almost not giving him enough room for the transition. Locking up a little bit, though, in the lead is Vacaras, trying to keep that car settled. Darren Baker's all over him, just being as aggressive as possible with a couple little taps here and there, almost leaving, again, no room for that transition, and sticking right with Vacaras all the way to the finish.
Yeah, he certainly did. As we go back to this replay, very even battle here between these two. Vacaras entering in very wide along that outside line. Darren dropping back and giving just enough room for Vacaras to make that transition, that big GTR. Vacaras on a really good lead line there, filling that outside zone, as well as this last and final one with Darren right there in tow as they cross that finish line. We'll go to these judges, left for Vacaras or right for Darren Baker. Could we see him go again? And no, we're not going to see him go again. Darren Baker in that big GTR is going to get the win and move on into the top 8.
There we go. Darren Baker going to face off against Mustafa in the grade 8. As we have our next top 16 battle here, Tikon Poleski and Shoma Takaya. Tikon in his fresh S14. Alongside him in the 180SX, Shoma Takaya in the chase position. The lights go solid and off they go for the first half of their battle. Good initiation there from Tikon Poleski out front. Great transition into outer zone 2. A big bobble there from the chase position as they transition now from outer zone 2 into 3 and into that inside clip. Now we're starting to see Shoma starting to put on that aggression and that pressure onto Tikon as they come across the line.
Yeah, another really solid lead out front, but it does open the door for Shoma Takaya in that chase position. And here we go with the replay. Tikon tossing that car in, following that outside line and filling that outside zone. Nice snap into the wall as well. Picks up throttle on time. And there you see Shoma reeling back in, give enough room for that transition. And then once again reel him in for that outside zone. And then Tikon sets in right along that yellow line and then across that finish line.
Now back around for the second half of their battle. Shoma Takaya in the lead lane. Tikon Poleski ready to give chase. The lights light up and go solid, and here we go. Shoma Takaya out front, Tikon Poleski giving chase. Shoma initiates in, Tikon right there with him, mimicking his entry as they transition into outer zone 2. Right getting close to his door already as Tikon not giving him any breathing room. Transitioning on the bumper. Shoma's out there doing his best lead run of the day, but Tikon is just all over him and not giving him any breathing room with a little tap there right at the very end.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a tough one for Shoma here as we go to this replay. Overall, a good lead, filling that first outside zone. But there's Tikon right there with him into outside zone 2, not giving up any room whatsoever along the bumper as they make that transition. And Tikon falling right into that pocket of Shoma Takaya out front and does it once more for that last and final outside zone. We'll go to these judges here. Once again, left for Tikon or right for Shoma Takaya. Winner of this will move on into the top 8. And there it is. Tikon Poleski gets the win over Shoma Takaya.
Tikon Poleski taking one of the 2 remaining grade 8 spots. Now it comes down to this final battle of the top 16. Artem Makashenko up against Darius Ostrich. Artem will lead in that 2JZ powered Mustang, and Darius will chase in his BMW. Final battle of the top 16. We're halfway through now as they get off the line clean. No restarts needed. Good initiation there from Artem. Darius right behind him, though, as they transition to outer zone 2. Darius is doing good at matching his angle and speed as we see them. Whoa!
Okay, and wow.
Oh,
Oh, and now he's back. Whoa! So Artem just went to the future, maybe, and then came back. And again, watching the top right-hand corner, the server seems completely fine.
Yeah, there was no lag.
And Darius was unaffected until Artem suddenly came back. Yeah. I was so shocked. I'm not sure if I got it on
returned from the Shadow Realm.
That's all I did was Artem going to the future and then coming back inside of Darius. I'm not sure if he wanted that. But that is super unfortunate to see. And again, as it states in our rulebook, anybody that experiences the lag, the fault is given to that person who is lagging. We'll pull up the judges and see if they end up sliding left or right, but believe that is going to go to Darius Ostrich.
Yeah, wow. I'm speechless. This Illuminati confirmed. Yes. Oh, chat.
That was wild. I mean, I was super worried because something like that
I thought for
usually
sure the
happens.
server crashed.
Yeah, same. And let's see. They do seem to be coming back to the line.
Are they going to give it a restart? Like a one more time?
No, they're going to switch them up. Yep.
It will be a one more time.
That's
that was
second half.
Second half of the battle. So, Darius Ostrich out front. Artem, hopefully not returning to the Shadow Realm, giving chase as we see them transition into Outer Zone 2. Artem getting all over the door of Darius as they transition now into Outer Zone 3 and into that inside clip. Artem is right on Darius as they transition through that next and final outside zone. Oh man, Artem right on him.
Yeah, he certainly was, and makes it even just more unfortunate to see what happened in the first half of the battle, because Artem really going after it in this chase position. This time Darius out front, following that outside line, maybe just a little bit too long, but Artem doing a fantastic job in that chase position to give room with that big Mustang and then dropping back into the pocket of Darius out front in that BMW. A little bit of left foot brake there to fall back, and then jumps right back onto the door, giving a good fight to Darius Ostrich out front. We'll wait on the judges to slide left or right, but I think they're going to go right for Darius Ostrich.
Really bad. Artem's been fighting really hard, so it's really sad to see his run ended by a bit of lag.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially after that chase run, too. I really put on a show there. Yeah, and there they go, right for Darius Ostrich, and he will
I'm sorry,
get the win.
I read the chat there. That was quite entertaining. Thank you. Sorry to interrupt you, Craig. I apologize.
It was something. I don't think I've ever seen that, especially where they just come back like that and just reappear. Never.
Normally,
seen that
once you're transitioning through walls, you're gone.
And he came back from across the map. Darius got sniped by a car.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Virtual Drift Championship, Season 1. What? Season 6. Round 1.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man. Now we're all just sorts of garbled over here. But now we're moving on into the Great 8. Only a few more battles remain before we crown the round 1 winner of the season 6 of the Virtual Drift Championship, powered by Next Level Racing and sponsored by TireStacks.com and Grip Royal. We have our first battle, Alan Hines and Zach O'Sullivan. Alan Hines in the Pro Drift Academy S15 in the lead lane. Zach O'Sullivan in his JZ A80 Supra. And off they go. The lights go solid and away we go. Alan getting down into the initiation, but Zach right with him as they come through outer zone 1, transitioning into outer zone 2. Look at the pressure that Zach is putting onto Alan as they transition into the next outer zone and through the inner clip. Zach is right with him, giving him no room for error as they do one final transition into the final outer zone and cross the line.
Yeah, Zach really putting up a fight here in the first half of this battle in that chase position here against Alan Hines, our returning champion from last season. Throwing that Pro Drift Academy S15 in and following that outside line, filling the outside zone. But look at there, Zach right in the pocket of Alan Hines out front, right along that bumper, dives back in on to Alan, who is on a fantastic lead line here and opening the door up for Zach. There they go, door to door across that finish line in the first half.
Zach O'Sullivan really wanting to continue on and beat Alan Hines here. And I know Alan Hines wants to continue on and beat Zach here. So this will be a fight for the ages in the second half of the battle. Let's hope Zach keeps his composure, who is now in that lead lane, getting hunted down by the Pro Drift Academy S15 driver, Alan Hines. They initiate in. Great initiation from Zach. A little bit inside there from Alan, missing out on that inside clip. Alan pushing him into the wall and sending Zach off course.
Oh, man.
And, as we try... Wow!
Yeah. Here we go. To the replay with Zach O'Sullivan again. Graphic not being updated up there. Zach out front, Alan giving chase, and Zach on a really nice lead line there for outside zone 1. Picks up throttle when he needs to. And yeah, you see Alan just surge ahead there in that chase position and give Zach a huge nudge.
A mistake we don't see often by the Pro Drift Academy driver, Alan Hines. And I think that's what caught me out. I mean, Zach was just on it from the very beginning. Looking at the replay myself here, he put the car exactly where it needed to be, and Alan just did this weird push, and that's what cost him the run.
Yeah, it certainly did. Unfortunate to see it in that manner, but that's, you know, just how it goes sometimes, and Zach is going to get the win and move on into that top 4.
Well, congratulations, Zach, getting into the top 4 as we have our next battle here with Austin Zalewski against Jerkus. Austin out front in the A90 Supra, getting chased down by Jerkus's BMW. We wait for those lights. As we wait for those lights to go and start this battle. There we go. They heard me that time.
Yeah, a little discussion over Discord, but yeah, they're sending them.
Okay. Austin out front. Erica's giving chase. Good initiation by both drivers. Erica's right with them as they come into outer zone 2. Erica's really pushing up onto the door of Austin. Austin right out front, doing a great job. Jerkus is not leaving him any room for error as they come through the second to last outer zone, transitioning again. Jerkus right there on the door of Austin, wheel to wheel as they cross that line.
Yeah, Jerkus once again trying to make a statement here in round one. Austin Zalewski out front this time through this replay, tossing that car in along that outside line. And smooth transition into outside zone 2 where Jerkus is right there with him, almost giving him a little nudge there in that chase position. Drops back just in time to allow Austin to make that transition. And there they go into the last and final outside zone. Finishing out the course with Jerkus right there pushing him along.
What an insane run by these two. I'm excited to see this switch as we have Jerkus, now in the lead lane, and Austin ready to chase him down. Lights go solid, and off they go. Austin sticking right with him right from the gate as they initiate in. Good initiation, but a huge push there from Austin, having to correct, maybe bouncing off the wall a little bit as Jerkus keeps the car exactly where it needs to be. Austin is really pushing to keep that proximity as they transition bumper to bumper into the last outer zone. Austin putting it right on the door, not so much as wheel to wheel, but very close.
Yeah, it certainly was, and it's going to be a tough one for the judges here as we go back to the replay with Jerkus out front, leading Austin, and leaves a little bit of room on the table for outside zone 1. It looks like Austin almost gets into the wall there, but bounces back, sticks with it right along the bumper of Jerkus out front in that BMW, filling those outside zones all the way out there to that track edge as they come across that line. Even battle between these two. We'll see if the judges have a decision here, left for Austin or right for Jerkus. And there they go, right for Jerkus, applying a little bit more pressure in that chase position, gets the win, and moves on into the top 4.
Well, congratulations, Jerkus, for that. But Austin, on fighting, we want to see you definitely in round 2. We have our next battle coming up to the line. Mustafa Ahmaneh up against Darren Baker in the GTR. These battles are going by quick, so make sure not to go anywhere. Stick with us. And for those that have been here the whole time, thank you for being with us here for round 1 of the Virtual Drift Championship Season 6, powered by Next Level Racing and sponsored by Grip Royal and TireStacks.com. We're almost through with the day.
We certainly are. Again, as you pointed out, just moving on along today.
You know, it's a quick track, but it's a technical track, and that's what I like about it, is we have Mustafa in the lead lane, Darren giving chase, off they go. They're a top 8 battle. Initiating it is Mustafa. Right behind him, though, is Darren. A little bit of a gap left for the transition, and getting a little out of shape was the chase driver of Darren, but Saad is sticking to that really nice lead line. Is Mustafa not as tight around that inside clip as he could have been, but there is Darren almost not leaving enough room for the transition with a little bumper touch there and staying on the door to the finish.
Yeah, he certainly did, and almost had a huge mistake there coming into outside zone 2 as we go back to the replay of these two rookie drivers going at it here in the top 8. Very smooth from Mustafa out front, and you see Darren have a little bit of a hiccup, but when he picks up throttle, he gets back into it and sticks with Mustafa out front. Nice and final transition there. Mustafa just snapping right to it and filling that last and final outside zone.
we are going to flip them around now. Darren Baker in that lead lane, and Mustafa ready to chase him down for the second half of this great top 8 battle. Off they go through the gate nice and clean. Darren trying to get the power down, initiating in. Mustafa right there with them. Good initiation from Darren as they transition into outer zone 2. A huge push from Mustafa in the back to regain that proximity and doesn't hit the wall or Darren. What a show of driving there as Darren continues on this amazing lead run. But there is Mustafa all over the door of Darren Baker.
Yeah, he certainly was, and we'll go back to this replay. Almost had some contact in that second outside zone. So we see him enter in here. Great line from Darren out front. Mustafa is sacrificing a little bit of line there, and it almost looks like Darren gets a little caught up front, which really opens the door for Mustafa, and he does a great job not to run into Darren up front. Fantastic transition there and dives back onto the door of Darren. We may just see him go one more time here.
I was honestly just thinking the same thing for a one more time.
And there they are, all three of them one more time. We'll get to see these two drivers go at it again.
Great showing by the rookies out here today, really showing that, hey, we're coming and we're here.
They're here. They're already here and going nuts.
Maybe showing the old boys then a little bit of like, hey, you guys got to get on your game.
That's half of this grade 8 is rookies.
Old school versus new school, but for now, it's Mustafa Ahmaneh out front, getting chased down by Darren Baker for their one more time battle. Mustafa initiating in, Darren right there with them as they transition into outer zone 2. Getting almost into a backy situation, but sticking with it as Darren does not flinch at all in that chase position, keeping a good proximity as they come through the second to last outer zone. One last transition. Right there, Darren Baker on the door as we see them come across the line.
Holy smokes. We'll go back to the replay here, but the way these two drivers set into outside zone 2 was just insane. And I think bigger credit to Darren for matching that angle as they come down in. Look at that, just right to it. Picks up throttle. No correction from either one of the drivers there through that entire outside zone. Filling that next one as well. Darren given just enough space to allow for that transition and then right back into the pocket of Mustafa out front in his S15.
Whew. You guys are going to make me run out of breath.
I mean, yeah, I almost lost it there as they set into that outside zone.
And here they are back around at the start gate. Darren out front, Mustafa ready to give chase. And here they go, the final half of their one more time battle. Darren coming down the straight, initiating in. Mustafa right there with him as they come through outside zone 1. Transitioning along the bumper into outer zone 2. Darren really, Mustafa pushing as hard as he could to get right on the door. Bumper to bumper transition from Mustafa. Darren just putting on an amazing lead run here. But Mustafa is just all over the door, showing tons of aggression as they come across that finish line.
Oh, man. A fantastic response, and as I hear Mustafa in Discord celebrating, oh man, Darren out front entering in, and there you see Mustafa right there along the bumper through that first transition and then reels him back in really quick, almost giving him a tap along that door and in the bumper again. Is Mustafa in that chase position, and there he is showing the aggression once more as they cross that finish line. We'll go to the judges. They'll go left for Mustafa or right for Darren Baker. Man, what a battle.
That was insane. I mean, even while you were doing the replay there, Darren was airing out his vehicle. Getting too spicy.
It was super hot and spicy. Oh, and look at there, Darren Baker is gonna get the win and move along into the top 4. Unanimous from all 3 judges, and I think it is going to come down to the way Darren just set into that second outside zone with Mustafa. It was just clean all the way through his chase run. Sure, Mustafa had a ton of aggression as well, but as far as just being clean and smooth with it, Darren was doing just that.
Exactly that. But I mean, great drive from Mustafa today. You better come back in round 2 and just give it your all like you did in round 1.
And now he was worried about this round as well. And he said, I think I'm just going to become a media guy after my practice. And look at there.
No, don't become a media guy. Keep your day job. As
Please.
We have Poleski out front, getting chased down by Darius Ostrich. And it looks like we're going to have yet another restart. A little bit of a jump.
Yeah, we'll see.
Tikon remembering his AI line was on.
Yeah, yeah. Good call. I hope Darius is okay. He needs to turn around quick. Ooh, pushing it a little bit there. I'm not going to lie. I was worried.
Alrighty. So back at the line. Rewind. And here we are for the last top 8 battle. Poleski out front, Darius Ostrich giving chase. Initiating in is Poleski. Right with him is Darius as they come into outer zone 2. Darius starting to put on that pressure and gain that proximity out of outer zone 2. Transitioning on the bumper of Tikon, getting right close to Tikon as they come through the second to last outer zone. Make one last transition. Darius putting on the pressure as they come across that finish line.
Yeah, Darius trying to put up a fight here in that chase position. We'll go back to the replay here. Tikon out front in that S14. Leaves a little bit of room on the table for that first outside zone, but sets into 2 nicely with Darius right there in tow. Steps back just a little bit to give room for that transition and then makes a huge dive in that chase position. Falls back just a little bit and then reels him in once again before crossing that finish line for the first half of their battle.
We have the finals? I thought the last battle. No, we're not there yet. Wow,
no,
we're only in the top 8. We haven't even reached the semifinals yet. Which so far, Zach O'Sullivan and Erica Jerkus and Darren Baker. And who's going to go face off against him? Will it be Poleski? Will it be Darius Ostrich? We've already seen Hines lose to a rookie. Could we see the same to Tikon? We will see as the lights go solid. Darius Ostrich out front. Poleski giving chase. Initiating in. Tikon right there with them as they come and transition into outer zone 2. Good job by Darius here as Tikon just starts to apply the pressure a little bit at the end there. Transitioning along the bumper just like Darius's run. And now look at that. Right alongside him was Tikon as they transition into that final outer zone. And oh, a little tap there from Tikon as they're wheel to wheel crossing that line.
Yeah, Tikon really trying to get the win here in that chase position. With Darius out front this time. Entering in, fills that first outside zone. Fantastic. All the way out to the edge. Gets into outside zone 2 very well as Tikon right there along that bumper as they make that next transition. And again, just applying the pressure. Does drop back a little early is Tikon in that chase position, but then he surges big time as they cross that finish line. We'll go to the judges here. Left for Poleski or right for Darius Ostrich. Pretty even match here.
We silently await the judge's decision.
Yeah, this might be our longest wait today.
Hypothetical. If T-Con doesn't make it through and Darius does, we're going to have 2 old school, 2 new school, which means we're going to have an old school, new school battle at the end of it.
Well, guess what?
I'm guessing. What?
Darius Ostrich gets the win and moves on over T-Con Poleski here in the top 8.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it really is going to come down here and, over Discord and the judges that drop back that T-Con had in that chase position before the last and final outside zone was deemed a pretty big mistake. And the judges liked what Darius did in his chase with being a little bit cleaner throughout. And then a solid lead run out front. So he's going to move on into the top 4.
Darius, I know you're new here. That is an achievement. Hold that close. Enjoy that. Because it probably will never happen again. I'm joking. I'm kidding. But
the robot will strike again.
The robot will strike again. He had a minor malfunction.
Beep,
That's okay. We'll tweak our task bot and it'll be fine. No, I'm joking.
Error.
Congratulations to Darius. So our final 4: Zach O'Sullivan, Erikas Jerkus, 2 previous drivers of the VDC, both amazing guys. And then the 2 rookies, Darren Baker and Darius Ostrich, for their battle to leave us with 1 veteran VDC driver and 1 rookie VDC driver for the finals. And also for 3rd place. Alan and T-Con killed by noobs. Well, I wouldn't say they're noobs, though.
Not at all.
Not at all.
And
no.
I think they've proved that today.
Yeah, they definitely have. All right. Final 4, first battle. Zach O'Sullivan, Erikas Jerkus. Zach O'Sullivan out front in his Supra. Jerkus right behind him. Great initiation there by Zach O'Sullivan, pushing really hard. Erikas kind of washing out, but regaining that ground as we come back through clip 2. Transitioning now through 3 and into that inner clip. Erica's trying to put on that pressure on Zach O'Sullivan. Transitioning now into that final outer zone. Erica's all over Zach as they come across that finish line.
Yeah, good start to the top 4 here. Zach out front in his new Supra. Looking good here and getting deep into the top 32. Big angle through outside zone 1, gets into outside zone 2 nicely, and that allows Jerkus to reel him back in and get onto the door. And look at there, along the bumper of that transition with Zach out front. And once again, for the last and final one, but Zach doing a good job with his lead run out front.
A very good job indeed from Zach. And now, Jerkus out front, Zach giving chase. Jerkus has been on a tear all day long. So is Zach. To come down to this, the lights go solid, and off they go. Jerkus out front, Zach giving chase. Jerkus initiates in. Zach's right there with him as they transition to outer zone 2 and 2 hard by Zach, pushing Jerkus into the wall. And that is going to be all she wrote for this run. As Jerkus goes into the wall too hard as by fault from Zach.
Yeah, big unfortunate one to see here, especially in this top 4 between these two. Jerkus out front will go to this replay here. Make sure everything was done rightly out front from Jerkus. Does follow that outside line quite a bit, but yeah, it just gets hit even before that decel zone ends. And Zach goes into him hard. They keep the run going, but I think that is going to do it. We'll wait on those judges They'll go left for Zach or right for Jerkus, but I think Jerkus will end up getting the win here. And there they go. Right for Jerkus. He'll get the win. And that's going to put him into the finals for round one.
Erica's got to be feeling that one. Make it into the finals. But it's not the last we'll see of Zach, as he'll have a third place matchup battle to do.
He certainly will.
As we move on to our rookie battle. From the veteran battle down to the rookie battle. Darius Ostrich out front. Darren Baker giving chase. Darius in that beautiful BMW. Darren in his GTR. Darius getting away good. Darren already all over the back bumper as they initiate in. Right along the door. They transition into outer zone 2. A little bit of a bobble there, but even Darren noticed it and almost matches it as they transition out of outer zone 2 into 3 through the inner clip. Darren all over the door of Darius as they transition one final time to the final outer zone and through the finish line.
Yeah, another good start to a top 4 battle here as Darius out front getting chased down by that big GTR of Darren Baker. Entering in, and once again on a good line is Darius Ostrich out front. Sets in nicely, but then has that bobble that you pointed out, and Darren does a very good job to recognize that and then jump onto the door. Almost surges a little bit too hard there after that second transition. Drops back the way he needs to, and then surges back along the door of Darius Ostrich out front.
These two drivers been showing out like mad in the bottom half of the bracket, and now they're coming out strong. As we have them back at the line, ready to go. Darren Baker in the lead, Darius giving chase. They get out of the gate clean. Darren out front, Darius chasing. Initiating in, there's Darren out front, transitioning into outer zone 2. Darius trying to close that door, getting onto it right at the end of outer zone 2, transitioning now through 3 and into that inner clip. Darius trying his hardest to keep as close to that door as he can, leaving just enough room for the transition as they come down that final outer zone and door to door across the line.
Absolutely. A very even battle here that the judges, I think, are going to have a tough time making a decision with. This time, Darren out front in this replay, throwing that thing in, leaving just a tiny little bit of room along the backside of that outside zone 1, but fills outside zone 2 nicely. But Darius right there with him, drops back the way he needs to in that chase position to allow room for that transition. Keeps up very well with Darren, and then surges again for that last and final outside zone, and across that line. Darius applying just a ton of pressure there. Will go to the judges. They'll go left for Darius or right for Darren, or they'll stay in the middle for one more time here in the top 4.
Whew.
And look at there, all 3 of them right down the center. One more time, we'll get to see these drivers battle it out once again here in the top 4.
More drifting, no one can complain about that. Let's see these two go at it again. I mean, those runs, they were very evenly matched, so I'm very happy we have it one more time. And this is to decide who's going to go see Jerkus in the finals and who's going to go up against Zach for third place. Now, at the start line, Darius Ostrika out front, Darren Baker giving chase as they go for their one more time battle. Initiating in is Darius. Darren Baker right beside him, though, as they transition into outer zone 2. Darren already starting to put the pressure on way before the zone ends. And there's Darius trying to transition, but Darren not letting him as they come through outer zone 4 now and transitioning into the final one. Look at the proximity that Darren has on Darius by that finish line.
Yeah, Darren really going after the win here in that chase position. We'll go back to the replay. Darius out front, being chased down by Darren Baker. And a good line through that entry. And Darren right there on the door through both of these first outside zones. And yeah, it does look like he drops back in time and doesn't really cause any contact through that second transition. And along the bumper as well for the last and final one. And as you pointed out, just pushing Darius across that finish line for the first half of their one more time battle.
Story keeps unfolding for the rookies, especially for these two, Darren and Darius. Their first virtual drift championship event. They've made it to the semifinals, but only one of them gets to move on to the finals up against Jerkus. Will it be Darren? Will it be Darius? The lights go solid and off they go. Darren out front, Darius giving chase. Darren initiates in, Darius right there with him. Good line to the first outer zone as they transition into the second. Really hard in goes Darius, though, having to back out of it and readjust his line. Darren staying on that perfect lead line as Darius tries another dive, but it washes him out again and he has to readjust his angle. Transitioning into the final outer zone now. We see them coming down and across the line.
Yeah, it's going to be close here as we go back to the replay with Darren out front. I think Darren might have applied a little bit more pressure here. And now Darius doing a really good job there in the first half of that first turn, but falls back. And then again in that chase position through outside zone 2. And there another mistake from Darius in that chase position, falling back. Man, I think Darren is going to end up getting the win here as we go to the judges. Darius on the left there, Darren on the right. And there they go, unanimous decision for Darren Baker. He moves on into the finals. Whew.
So here we go now with the third place matchup. This will determine who gets third place before we move on to our final battle between Jerkus and Darren. We have Zach O'Sullivan and Darius going at it here right now. The light's gone solid and off goes Zach. Initiating in, Darius is right there coming off that loss. Hopefully he's not too shaken up from it as Zach puts on a really good transition. Darius starting to close that gap as they transition through 3 and into that inner clip. Darius trying to put the pressure onto Zach, but just can't seem to find the momentum as they come through that final outer zone. And there's the proximity that Darius was looking for.
Yeah, it seemed like Darius was fighting hard back there in that chase position with Zach O'Sullivan, our rookie of the year from last season, out front. Throwing that super in along that outside line. Very smooth transition into outside zone 2 and along this wall. There you see Darius reeling Zach back in. But Zach doing a really nice job through this little power alley section, leaving a little bit of room on the table, and then Darius trying his best to reel Zach back in on that little bit of an inside line there in that chase position.
Well, now we get to decide who is going to take third place. Will it be Darius? Will it be Zach? These lights light up one more time for them today as it goes solid, and off they go. Darius out front, Zach O'Sullivan giving chase as they initiate in. Good initiation by Darius, but Zach right there with them off of the initiation as we see them coming through outside zone 2 now. Little bit of gap left there from Zach. He could have been a little closer as they come through that inside clip. Now we see Zach start to put down the pressure and really start to get on the door of Darius as they come across that line.
Yeah, and here we go back to the replay here with Darius out front in his BMW. Entering in along that outside line. Very nice from Darius out front. Good transition across, and Zach reels him back in, leaving a little bit of room on the table, and on a little bit of an inside line, falls back and then surges forward back into the pocket of Darius Ostrich out front. Gets a little caught up there in that chase position for that last and final transition into that last zone. But here we go to the judges. Left for Zach O'Sullivan or right for Darius Ostrich. And look at there, they're going to go left for Zach O'Sullivan. Zach O'Sullivan taking home his first podium of the season. Third place today here, round 1.
Big congratulations to Zach. I know he's going to be happy about it. But Darius, don't let that get you down. That was an amazing fight that you put on today. You were up against some tough opponents. So congratulations to both those drivers as we move into the final battle of round 1 of season 6, the Virtual Drift Championship, powered by Next Level Racing, sponsored by Grip Royal and Tire Stacks. We have Erica's Jerkus out front. We have Darren Baker in the chase. Who will it be taking home the win today? They both initiate in. Erica's doing a good job. Darren already all over him as they come into outer zone 2. A little bit of a fender tap, but nothing that's going to set them back as they come out of outer zone 2 and transition into the inside clip. Darren all over Erica's, but Erica's putting on an amazing lead line. A little bit of a bumper tap there as Erica's drops 2 tires coming across the line with Darren right beside him.
Yeah, I think that's going to end up being a pretty big deduction there from that chase. Darren Baker and that bump coming into the last and final outside zone. Here we go with the replay. Erica's entering in nice along that outside zone and smooth transition into the wall. You see a little bit of sparks flying there, maybe riding the wall a little bit is Darren Baker with that big GTR. Falling back, letting him transition and then reeling him back in. And here's that little bit of contact stopping Ericas from transitioning, which pushes that transition late and leads to Ericas dropping tires off the back end of that last and final outside zone.
We're not done yet. Don't go anywhere. Stay in your seats. Do not hit refresh. Do not go anywhere. Don't click off the pages. We got it coming up to you. Darren in front. Ericus giving chase for the final time today. Who is it going to be? We have Darren initiating in. Ericus already all over him as they transition into outer zone 2. A little bit of a gap established, but Ericus starting to reel him back in before the end of outer zone 2. Darren on a really good lead line here as they transition on the bumper through the inside clip. Ericus is starting to really put the pressure onto Darren as they transition into this final outer zone and getting right on the door as Ericus as they cross the line.
Oh man, what a final battle we have here in front of us with Darren Baker out front for the maybe last and final replay here. And Erikas Jerkus chasing him down in that BMW. Fantastic entry by both of these drivers. Erikas giving up a little bit of room, but then slowly reeling him in for that outside zone 2. Gives room for the transition. Dives back into the pocket of Darren Baker out front. And that last and final transition here. And Erikas reeling him in and pushing Darren across that finish line. Will go to the judges for maybe the last time today. Will they go left for Erikas Jerkus or right for Darren Baker? Either way, these drivers are taking home a podium.
Or straight down the middle for a one more time, because that's what we all want.
Yeah, I mean, it could happen. Let's see. Oh, and look at there, unanimous decision. Erikas Jerkus is going to get the win. and get the first place finish here at round 1. Tocancipa, all from that contact in the chase position with Darren Baker in that GTR, giving him a little boop and stopping Yaroslav from transitioning. It's unfortunate that it has to come down that way, but when the level is so high, you really got to go for it. And just Darren coming up just a little bit short, but again, finishing second for his first Virtual Drift Championship event.
What an amazing, amazing run by all of them, and such a huge congratulations, and so great to see Yaroslav on the podium spot.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're going to take their little train here. First, second, and third. Jerkus out front. Zach coming third place in the middle position, and then Darren Baker in tow here. Look at this. Fantastic driving from all three of them. Go ahead, fellas. Oh, no! We'll save the replay, though. Oh, man. Good showing by all three of you. So, again, congratulations to literally all the drivers today. I mean, even the ones that didn't make it into the top 32, everybody drove their tails off and did fantastic. We had a ton of rookies into the top 32. Almost half of them were rookies. And then we had one go all the way to the finals, Darren Baker, and take home that second place trophy today. Zach O'Sullivan taking third, and Yaroslav Jerkus winning round 1 here at the Autodromo de Tocancipa.
What an amazing day this has been, and what an amazing way to start off Season 6 of the Virtual Drift Championship.
Insane way to start things off. And I know some of you were asking if we're going to release this track. We are going to release this track. We have another update to one of our older tracks coming super soon. Maybe even tomorrow. I want to release it before Christmas, so definitely check that out. And stay tuned on our Discord, as we will release those to our Discord first to give those Discord members early access. So big thanks to everybody tuning in today. We hope y'all enjoyed our first round of the new season. A couple of things to fix on the stream altogether, but I think it went well, and the drivers just went nuts today.
Some of them went so nuts they found their way into the Shadow Realm back again.
Yeah, they certainly did, Tanner. And huge shout out to our partners and sponsors this season as well. Next Level Racing stepping up and giving us their support. Big prizes for first, second, and third. Grip Royal this year giving first, second, and third steering wheels. And again, a little something new from Grip Royal, maybe specifically for us sim racers and drivers. And then Tire Stacks stepping up, giving their support as well. And we haven't announced it yet, but the winner of today's round will get $50 from Tire Stacks. So big thanks to Tire Stacks, and congratulations, Yaroslav Jerkus. All right, we'll shut the stream down again. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and make sure to join our Discord. That can be found in our link tree. I think Dion's been posting it as well into the chat. I think our staff as well, all three judges, Chris, Ed, and Matt, as well as Dion for running some of those graphics in the background, as well as Rocky MP4 for our video. We'll have another video coming out soon after this round as a little after movie for y'all. I hope y'all enjoy that as well. So tune in to our socials, join our Discord, and we'll be back in about 3 weeks for round 2. And happy holidays.